and welcome to CopTubeAmerica.com, where we teach you the elements of criminal law. Hello to my teenagers, those who are 13 to 17. Let me remind you, if you're 18, you should not be looking at these videos. You can, but hopefully you are after you've done all your tests. Okay? But if you're 18, please do go to our adult category. Okay, our adult section. If you are 12, you're adolescent. We do have videos for those who are 5 to 12. All right. Now we got that straight. It's about following the rules. All right, so we can get this thing right. Keeping it tight. Okay, now we're on lesson number 53, welfare fraud. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. These are indeed taxpayer dollars. All right? And they don't want people committing fraud when they don't have to. Some people here on this earth, they want more than their fair share or what they are allotted to get or receive or allowed to get or receive. Okay? That's welfare fraud when you're messing with government money. All right? Programs that were created to help, not for people to live on now, not for healthy, bright, intelligent people to live on for generations to generations to generations. No, somewhere some fraud's being committed. Now, there are programs, Social Security Disability, okay? That's a program. Social Security, SSI, that's a program. Medicare is a program. Medicaid is a program. You have the food stamp program. All right. There is the welfare check program. Now, I haven't heard too many people get these big checks like they used to back in the day. But welfare fraud is a very real thing. And yes, families do become embarrassed for welfare fraud. So you could have a family, mom and dad's on welfare. Now, should that be mom and dad's on welfare? Listen to that. Now, men are not allowed on welfare. Bam. And if there's a man anywhere around, it's a fraud. If that man is not under a mother called a parent, and that child has to be, I believe, under the age of 18. Okay? I don't think they've gotten into college age. When your children are 18 and you're on welfare, you don't still keep getting welfare when they're all the way to age 22. We're expected to be graduated from college. Let's read and see what welfare fraud is. And it is a shameful thing, because how do you go about stealing pennies? Wow. But some people, okay, there are 3 elements. Now, it says the person engaged in a scheme or a systematic course of conduct. Now, number 2, the person intended to defraud or to obtain property of another, by means of a false or fraudulent pretense, misrepresentation, or promise. Now, when you sign those papers, you are signing a promise. Okay? There are promises all the way through the welfare system, because they can't live in your home. And everybody knows that. They know once you leave that office, okay, everything is hinged on a promise, you know that they're not following you. And the welfare system, wow, so many people on it, it's very hard to get investigators and very hard to get people to report those who have committed welfare fraud or committing it. All right? And as we speak, don't forget that. Number 3, the person succeeds either in obtaining the property or in causing the other person to lose the property. Welfare fraud is not cute. Now, let me tell you this. They're not going to discuss the type or what you stole. It could be housing. It could be food stamps. It could be checks. It could be heating, cooling. Okay? Welfare helps out a lot of people in a lot of different areas because it's needed. But no one can fraudulently get on welfare, hold a job, and be on welfare too. Oh, there have been people who have worked Wall Street and took advantage of welfare. Believe me. Making all that money. That's why they say, have you ever been on welfare before? And they check and see. And they go, well, if you've been on welfare before, we need to check and make sure you're totally clear for this job. Now, don't tell me I don't know something about welfare. Now, my mother wasn't on welfare. Did she think about it? Yeah, I heard it. Maybe I should go on welfare. You know, the kids are growing up and they really need me around the house. You know, but I have to be honest with myself. I am a licensed nurse. And my mom was the head of a hospital, honey. Now, but they was throwing around that money like it was nothing. Folks having babies. All right, it's hard to prove that a person got intentionally pregnant just to receive a welfare check and all of the supplemental things that go along with that. All right? You can't make anybody sick, too, also, to get on welfare. All right? Or to get off of welfare. There's a lot of things. So get with your welfare caseworker and make sure you're not breaking the law. They have their rules. But when it comes down to the pow getting involved, you've broken these three elements. The person engaged in a scheme or a systematic course of conduct. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, type in there in a scheme, type it in the internet, and it'll tell you what that is. And systematic course of conduct. Look that up. All right, the person intended to defraud or obtain property of another by means of false or fraudulent pretense, representation, or promise. The person succeeds either in obtaining the promise or in causing the other person to lose the property. Who is the other person? The government. They don't want to lose their property. Not $1, not one card that you swipe. Even if they have food stamps, they don't. No. Peace. Listen, 5 years, I was 10 years for this crime, and there's a lot of women who've gotten in trouble over welfare. Can't do it, guys. Girls, don't do it. It's not worth it. Is it? 5? You will not see your babies for 5 years to 10 years. It's not worth it. If they said no drugs on the property, they mean it. Don't sell stuff out your house, they mean it. You can't have 2, 3 jobs, a night job, a job under the table, and no. Welfare has its rules and regulations. All right? Penalty for welfare fraud damage that occurred in the cure will start at $5,000. Don't do it because you're going to pay that fine plus cost of court, and the judge wants the money for cost of court. Believe me. All right? Now, you say, well, I don't see anybody in court over welfare fraud because you got to go to federal court. Some, you got to go to state. Okay? Depends on where a person did the defrauding. All right? A conspiracy charge can be added to most crimes, which increases or may double your sentence. Believe you me, you commit fraud when it comes to welfare. A lot of people are not gonna like you because that money is there to indeed help people along the way, and it's a beautiful program. It's a beautiful program. All right, it's not cool. This is not cool. Babies need to eat. People need shelter, especially your weaker ones. All right. If there's any man involved in welfare, I guarantee you it's a part of a scheme and it's a fraud because men are not allowed on welfare. All right. 5 years. Let me go over this real quick. That's 60 months away from your children. 1,825 days away from your children. And you know good and well, somebody get a hold of your kids, they may just keep them when you get out. All right? Your child, you're 8 years old, you do this, that child will be 18 years old on the way to college somewhere. All right? And hating you every step of the way. But I did it for you, boo. No, you didn't. Hey, look, man, she said she did it for you. No, she didn't. She did it for herself. Children don't care. They want their parents. Don't care about all this fraud. They don't want you gone. Well, price check. 2,628,000 minutes, and then you have 43,800 hours. What is 10 years? 120 months. 3,650 days. Price check. Ooh, it's hefty. Right here. 10 years. And you know children live in the minute and in the moment. In the minute and the moment you're gone, they're going to be so upset. Grandma going to have to take care of them. Grandpa going to have to take care of them. Okay? They may even have to move to a whole nother state. Oh, your rights are gone. All right. They might even go into foster care. A lot of people. So sad. So stay on point. Don't do these things. All right. 5,256,000 minutes, which is 87,600 hours. Not cool. Not cool. They have people who are undercover checking on folk and checking up on folk who are on welfare. If they suspect you of any fraud, you're in trouble. And if you try to do it again, you're in big trouble. All right? So no matter where you come from, you could be from over here in the islands and moved here, and you heard about some of these laws that seemingly people break like it's nothing. Like putting butter on your bread. No, you can't break these laws right here. Well, no, I thought I could. No, you can't. You can't break them, not a one. Well, this neighbor over here, she committed welfare fraud. So what? That's none of your business. Tell it and leave it alone and be a state's witness. All right? Don't be afraid to turn folk in. Okay? Never be afraid of nothing. Most people bark. Okay, guys. $5,000. That's a lot of money. If your mom and dad is doing it, please tell them to stop. Cop to America handbook. Just show them the handbook, or show them the post on the video, or on the site. Just show them that. They don't want to listen. They're getting high, whatever. Drinking. Not saying that people are on welfare get high and drink. Stop it. We know a lot of people on welfare get that beer on, baby. Get their joint rolled. That's why fraud. You're not allowed to have drugs or alcohol on the property either. Just you commit a fraud with the intent to sit on your behind and go from system to system to system to system. Okay? Don't you worry, they'll figure it out. Because you got to swear that paperwork. Don't you? I solemnly swear. And that invokes your promise or a person's promise So if you have to go on welfare, keep your nose clean, guys. And it's okay. Don't let nobody get on your nerves with that bull crap. It's embarrassing. They want you to find a job. But if you have to go on welfare, especially now, let me tell you this. Don't forget daycare. Some people get on welfare to get some daycare and working under the table. Whatever they get you on, remember these elements right here. A scheme or a systematic course of conduct. Don't do it. Don't do it. Let it go. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It really isn't. Because you can never have welfare again, and you may just need it. We're going to lesson number 54, vandalism. Don't tear up nothing that don't belong to you. And even if it belongs to you, you better make sure there's no lien on it. And it ain't from Rent America. Okay? Or Rent a Center. Because it's not yours unless it's paid for in full and you don't owe nobody. And there's no liens and no levies coming against you. And that stuff is not involved in a lawsuit because it's not yours. It has to be preserved. Because now you done something that the other person must get your property. Fast, quick, and in a hurry. Okay. All right. Let's conclude it right here. Please take your test. All right? I know you'll pass it. You've gotten smarter. You've gotten wiser. You've matured, some I know. All right? Who can't be proud of you guys? Who can't? Who cannot? Businesses will want to hire you. Schools want you through the door. Show them your certificate. Tell them what you're doing. I'm taking cop to married courses. Of course. You learn what the police learn. You need to be a cop, don't you? I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a paralegal. I just kind of want to, just kind of want the knowledge for my family. Whatever reason is to keep you from being locked up and stop forking over money to a court system. Quit paying for these beautiful courthouses. All right, unemploy the police, unemploy the judges. Want them to close the courthouse down because we have no cases. That's been done before in the Wild Wild West. The Wild Wild West, there was no cases being heard in the courtroom. So they closed it down. They turned it into a general store. But in the back room, they had the judge chamber just in case. All right. Isn't that funny? All right, guys. Let's move forward to vandalism because it can go from 5 years to 25 years, and that's not cool. I keep trying to say that's not cool because it ain't cool at all. But if the judge got to give it to you because you did wrong, you got to stomach it. And don't even get upset, okay, because you might get 2 charges or 3 charges or 4. And don't fight the police. Not in a courtroom. Nowhere. All right? All right, baby. Let's move on. All right, bye.
The weight of my mistakes depends on how I feel. Don't let it bring you down. The weight of what I say depends on how you feel, but I don't wanna bring